What's up, fight fans? Your boy P. Welsh here, bringing to you UFC 321 Aspinall Gane. Coming off an 8-5 week, man. If only we had Cheeto, we would have had a massive payday and a nice ending. Had some good picks there. Missed on a couple spots that really we bet on at the end of the day to cover ours. But Santos and Belaguri were big upsets early on. Starting here overseas in the UAE with Jacqueline Amarine versus Mizuki. Amarine 10-1, big favorite, 5'3", coming off a win against Mizuki, making her debut, 15-6, 5'3", 65.5 inches, 3 inches height and reach disadvantage. And yeah, I mean, this is Jacqueline Amarine all day. Maybe she can catch a finish. I think she's got a finish in her. Honestly, she's got 3-4 straight finishes. Lost to Sam Hughes, who's durable and tough as hell. So, and that was back on 287. She hasn't lost in a minute against Mizuki coming in there. Submission specialist. Yeah, I can kind of see Amarine getting a sub here. You know, if Mizuki tries to go to the ground, can't really contain. I think Amarine inside the distance might be another good spot to like go at. But Mizuki 9 subs, 11 decisions, very experienced, but not against super high, level. Losses to Lemos, unanimous decision. So maybe that's too. She can contend on the ground, but then as soon as, but Lemos wants to strike. Amarine's very well balanced. So we'll see how this one goes. I like Amarine's submission here, but yeah, tough spot for Mizuki making debut. Next up, flyweight bout, Azat Maxim versus Mitch Raposo. Maxim 15-2 coming against Raposo 9-3. I think Raposo's coming off a loss. Maxim coming off a win against what? Katona? No, he lost to Tarig and lost to Charles Johnson back to back. Man, this one should be tough, dude. I mean, I felt like I was actually thinking of somebody else before I thought of Maxim, but I was thinking of the other flyweight. But, Raposo's got to come in here, and he's got a great chance to win. This is kind of like a Mitch Raposo show-me spot. Losses to Sumadarji and Andre Lima. And, that Sumadarji fight was really close, too. I picked Mitch, and, he's got a good chance here, especially as a big underdog. I just don't really know, he's going to just have to win at the hands, dude. He's going to have to kind of knock this guy out. That's what his, I don't think he'll be able to out-wrestle any of these guys in the UFC. He's really going to have to let these hands go and let him fly. Really going to see how his boxing was developed. I think he is a live dog, but there's no way I'm picking Mitch Raposo to win. I mean, not like he doesn't owe me like that. I definitely feel like he owes me like that, but I think this is one of those cards where you just see probably just like a unanimous decision win. I just think Mitch is going to get outworked I don't think outclassed, but just outworked, and split decision Mitch loss again. He's going to have to find a KO, I think, to win. He's going to have to find a sub. He's going to have to find damage. And I think Maxim can just piece him up with a 6-inch reach advantage and leg kicks all day, kind of like Sumadarji did. He's very hittable. He doesn't just avoid damage. He isn't like, it's hard for him to get a lot of leverage in there at 5'5" against even some of these other guys. I love big Mitch Raposo fan. But not getting it done again. I mean, these are the skid. This is the skid matchup here. These guys are on skids right now. So who's gonna turn it around? I really like Maxim by decision here. I actually think he could find a finish. I don't really think that. I mean, the thing is, I think Mitch could get so desperate that he just forces a finish. Maxim, the official pick. Next up, heavyweight bout: El Dawab versus Chris Barnett. El Dawab 6-1. Coming off a win against Chris Barnett, coming off a loss. And, yeah, I mean, I don't know how you could pick Chris Barnett here any way whatsoever. El Dawab is, I just think, just clean. I mean, dude, he just lost to Usman when I picked him, too. So, I mean, just GG's, bro. I can't pick Chris Barnett. Just pick El Dawab, and if he loses, just go next. So, one I'm not really looking. No bets. No, just hopefully we see somebody go to sleep. Next up, featherweight bout. We got Nathaniel Wood, 21-6, coming off a win versus Jose Miguel Delgado. 5'11", coming off a win. I do not think Delgado was coming off a win. I guess he beat Hyder Amil. Dude, there's another Delgado that's Ochoa, I think. That's Jesus Ochoa. Still, that being said, I'm gonna pick Delgado here. He's a beast. I think Nate Wood is a very he's gonna have to win on the takedowns, but I think Delgado is a rightful favorite, man. I think he's a better boxer, better striker. He's got good takedown defense, especially for MMA, and I just think he'll outclass Nate Wood, who necessarily I don't want to say has his wins don't really impress me, right? Besides Charles Jourdain, Andre Feely, all of them unanimous decision wins. I think if this one's going to the card, I think Delgado's going to piece him up for 15 minutes. You know what I mean? If not, he finds that finish. Nate was just gonna have to negate it with some grappling with the takedowns. I just think Delgado just is better on the feet and better with defense. But that being said, again, Nate Wood has a pathway and a victory, and if he gets 3 takedowns, I just don't know if he holds him down though. That's the whole thing. Is like, oh, people are like, oh, he gets 2 takedowns, he wins the fight with wins the rounds. Yeah, and then they get knocked out in the face, like some people were saying with Jasmine. Oh, Jasmine gets 2 takedowns, she'll win the fight, she'll hold her down. Freaking doesn't even get one, gets pieced up in the first round, and that's something that's gonna happen. That's always got to be talked about. So bada bing, bada boom. I just think I'm on Delgado, dude. I just think I just think he's an up and comer. I just think and this is not a slight on Wood. I think Wood's a really tough guy, bro. The way that he just went through Morgan the other time, figured but Morgan gasses out. Nate Wood's got good cardio. I just don't think that really sometimes matters, right? The gas tank matters only when the skills aren't as even, right? When the skills have some disparity, the gas tank might not matter because sometimes these even fights are very much more one sided. So I like Jose Miguel Delgado to catch the win here, TKO or decision. But yeah, it should be a good scrap here. All right, we gotta do a little side note here. We got Louis Sutherland versus Walter Walker. Walter is 4-1. Only lost to Bresky in his debut. Slimmed up after that. We got Louis Sutherland making his debut. Rescheduled. It was supposed to be against Tafa, I think. Wrestling background for Sutherland, and yeah, this got to be a Walter spot all day. Nothing against Louis. I just think this is a way worse matchup for him. I just think Walter, unless he stands up and strikes with him, like it's just very hard to see how he's gonna have an advantage against Walter because he just is that elite at ground game and he's that massive. He's pretty athletic and he's just incredibly hard to deal with. Right? You're gonna have to be able to just get up. You're just gonna have to. The thing with Walter is I don't think he's necessarily the strongest. He's super athletic, but necessarily I think people at that weight class have super high strength. Like if Walter could ever get down to 205, the guy would be a world champion. He's an absolute world champion at 205, and I know that's a lot to cut that back down, but yeah, if there was a straight 225 weight class and then there was like super heavyweight, I think that would be also something. Could you imagine if they did 225 limit and then then 265 limit? That'd be kind of crazy. See, that's where I think Walter could end up being. But he's also massive. What is he, like 6'6"? Yeah. So yeah, this is Walter all day. Leverage. I think he could get another heel crank, something silly. Kimura. I think you'll see him in full mount in the first round, and yeah, Walter in the under. Walter 1-2. Even if he needs a second round to get him going, I think he'll tire him out. I definitely like him in the 1-2 is where I like Walter this week. Next up, yeah, UFC don't got that on their website. They also don't got this next one on their website. We got to get up onto as well. It's actually way higher on the card, but we're just gonna do it right now. We got Harpquist versus Salakid. Nassar Harpquist versus Quillen Salakid. Both guys on 5-0 win streaks. 5-year age advantage. A little bit of a height for Salakid. A little bit of a reach. And yeah, I feel like if this is going to be... Dude, Harpquist just has some way of like winning out these decisions against everybody. Rabovich, Gordon, Malarkey finish. Quinones not a UFC fighter. Medeski beat Ashmush. He should. Jubilee. Gage Young. That's the whole thing with Salakid. This is a huge step up for his competition, right? The guys that my guy Harpquist just fought, are insane, and the Notch wins against them. I don't know if Sally Kid would, especially we're gonna go was welterweight, I would assume. If this is gonna go at lightweight too and not welterweight, dude, some of these guys making lightweight is disgusting. 155 for these guys. Come on, guy. Come yeah, I like Harpquist here on the official picks if the what UFC gets it this way. I mean, I honestly, I think I faded him last time for some reason on a big upset or maybe bet against Sally Kid, but he knocked him out in Sydney. But again, I just think the competition, there's levels to this game, and Harpquist has just been proven against guys that are proven scrappers too. And I think if this gets into a scrap, not saying I don't think Sally Kid is hard, is got hard, but it's just that like the experience on the UFC, you know, Jubilee and Ashmus versus Harpquist and Gordon or Rabovich, like the calibers there. There's calibers there. So yeah, I like Harpquist here on the official pick with Walker on the other ones that are not on the website here. Next up, another lightweight bout. We got El Shawadi versus Matheus Camilo. El Shawadi 15-4, coming off a loss versus Camilo 9-3. 2-inch on the height advantage for Camilo here. And yeah, honestly, I don't know. This one is freaking just super. I haven't really seen too much of either of these guys. I mean, El Shawadi is the favorite. Maybe fighting overseas, but just massive amounts of canceled guys against. I'd probably just pick Camilo just because I just have more faith in somebody like that. Somebody that's, I don't know. This one's really a toss up, but I'm going Camilo here on the official picks. Not too much going in there. Got more upside than finishing ability. If it's finished or be finished, I think it's more Camilo. I think if you're gonna think this one goes to the decision and the scorecard, I still can be Camilo. I don't know, man. He's just younger. I don't know. I don't trust El Shawadi. I'm trying to remember if I even seen any of his fights necessarily making his UFC debut. I don't know. I'm not feeling too confident. He has to have a grappling advantage. You know, he's got to put him. You know, and that's not really. You know, he's gotten knocked out a few times. I got Camilo here. I'm thinking Camilo all day. What's even the odds with this one? Yeah, basically a pick'em. Yeah, basically a pick'em. Next up, lightweight fight. Ludovic Klein, 23-5-1, lost to Mateus Gamrot. Mateus Rumbecki, 20-3, lost to Chris Duncan. And boy, this has recency bias all over it, man. All over it. I don't understand it. I don't understand why. Is it because, bro? Is it because Rebecca's just taking an insane amount of damage? How can people be betting Ludovic Klein as a favorite, bro? Did you watch that fight against Gamrot? Dude did nothing for 15 minutes, and it's Mateus Gamrot. Was he so afraid to get taken down that he couldn't throw a punch? Bro, I think Rebecca puts this guy's lights out as a dog. I think this shit's freaking insane, bro. If you ever question Mateus Rebecca, just watch The War with Oroblai. And again, like, I just think he has massive power. He's got the finishing ability. I also think he has a grappling advantage, right? Like if he gets in there, he freaking Klein's been finished by who did I just see? You know what I mean? I know Rebecca is super hittable, and that might be his downfall. But I also think that southpaw left coming down Broad Street is gonna just hit Klein and knock the lights out. Especially at the price tag. I think it's just super recency bias. It's like sometimes with the pick, it's like you look at the odds and it's like, okay, well that's definitely not the case in like the way that some things are shaken out. I know the market sets it the way the market sets it in a way, but like sometimes also like they're wrong and people are just have like favoritism and definitely super favoritism, and like that's all I'll say is like the Danny Barlow, the Jordan Santos fight. It's like, yo, bro, when that fight became a fight, one dude wanted to fight, right? And his name was the Jordan Santos. Now you can't trust the judges, bro. Like split decision on the judges scorecard is like it's 50-50, man. You just got to pray it goes your way because a lot of times it doesn't. And like same with like Vera at the end, but all things considered, like that's just the way shit goes sometimes, and you just got to pray to be on the right end of it. And this is where a spot, like even if it is split decision, I really like Rebecca. I think he'll just have more moments, more power. I think both guys will be bleeding at the end of the fight, but I think third round Rebecca's got a chance to finish. feel like he has more finishing in his, and he's just got more power, bro. He's just got more pathways to victory, and his losses are, to absolute fucking killers who go at it. And Ludovic Klein is not necessarily one of those guys that goes at it and kills people, right? Unanimous decision, Roosevelt Roberts. Unanimous decision, Thiago Moises. Somehow he beat Ignacio Bahamondes, but run that back, and his Bahamondes putting him into the freaking dirt. Lost to Nate Luander by Anaconda choke. So yeah, I think guillotine is live for Rebecki. I think finish is live for Rebecki late, and yeah, it should be a great fight. Next up, middleweight bout: Ikram Alaskarov, 16-2, coming off a win versus Jung Young Park, 9-16, coming off a win. Park looked really good in his last fight against Nuradev, and Tavares before that lost to Munes 2 years ago. And Alaskarov, he got knocked out by Bobby Knuckles and came back with a big win against Munes at the end of the first round. The fact that he's only like minus 258 at this current moment for Alaskarov is kind of insane. I think, I mean, I just think he came in on short notice and got clipped by Bobby Knuckles, and we just should forget about that. This guy should be a fucking minus 900 favorite against Park. How does this guy not come in there and walk him down in 2 rounds, right? Like Alaskarov 1-2 is one that I'm really going to be looking forward to hammering. I just don't think this guy Park can last for, and even if he has to, I think he wrestles him, grounds him, pounds him, and gets him out in 10 minutes. Come on, dude. So yeah, I think Ikram here all day. The price tag is insane. I don't understand why. I mean, Park. I don't know. I don't get it, man. I mean, I've just never been a big fan. And maybe he's just super clean, super technical. Maybe he just doesn't. But like, dude, I just think that this is a freaking freight train coming through, and I don't think it levels right. Alaskarov all day. Next up, a fight I'm really interested in: light heavyweight bout. We got Alexander Rakic versus Azmat Mazurkanov. Rakic 14-5, Mazurkanov 15-0. And yeah, this is I don't know how I'm gonna not be on Mirzakhanov right here, just with the unblemished record. I just think he has a way of being able to take damage, walk him down, and Rakic has just been finished before. Again, this is a huge step up in competition for Mirzakhanov between Jacoby, Ribeiro, Menefield. Like, this guy is Rakic is a born killer. That being said, he's on a terrible run right now and very fragile. I like Mirzakhanov here. I just have I have hard time picking Rakic. I don't. It's just one of those spots where I can't be on Mirzakhanov or I can't be on Rakic, right? Like, it's an even money fight, and I get why. It's because of the length of disparity and stuff like that, but when I got this guy that's unblemished and is an absolute freight train power puncher, I truly think Mirzakhanov is kind of like a heavyweight, but he cuts down to this light heavyweight and just presents a different level of power at 205 that is just hard to deal with, man. I think he can work the body. I think he can find an uppercut, find the chin. And I just think the way that he becomes super unhittable at distance, even with a guy like this, he's going to get in there and he's going to use his power and do damage, and then he's going to get out. I think he's probably got second round finish on him. I think it'll take him a little time. He'll start slow, feel out Rakic, see the range, take a couple, here and there. I think very slow first round, but second round, I probably under 2.5 too. But like, I think Mirzakhanov second round finish against Rakic is definitely on the books here. I think he's super clean, technical. I think Rakic is very sloppy and can definitely fade towards the second, third round as well. One spot where I really like Mirzakhanov is late, man. I just think the way that he could just approach people, walk him down, and is just no wasted movement, man. There's nothing that's just not pure efficiency, power, and yeah, I just think he's got a great chance to catch a dub here against Rakic. Got Mirzakhanov. Let's go, baby. Next up, we're in the heavyweights. Alexander Volkov versus Jonathan Almeida. Volkov 38-11, coming off a loss to Serial Gane against Almeida 22-3, coming off a win. And man, I love Volkov. I've been on him quite a bit, even on that loss. I mean, he didn't lose. Counts as a loss. I don't want to talk about the main event until we get to the main event. But yeah, I mean, I guess I just have to pick Almeida here. I just think he'll actually get the takedowns. I think Volkov's just might be a day late and a dollar short for this matchup, and I kind of want to be wrong on it. I really do. Because I don't think Aspinall Volkov would be any different than the first time, but I just want to see Volkov kind of get on the redemption arc. You know, if you really think about it, his two losses are to Serial Gane and Aspinall with that Derek Lewis KO. Curtis Blades, I'm not really worried about that loss either. That was over 5 years ago at a decision. So, you know, if you think about it, his losses are to Gane, which he kind of avenged in my opinion, and then Aspinall if he gets the win here. So that's why I kind of definitely think Volkov is a live dog. I'll definitely picking Almeida here with the propensity that I'm gonna bet Volkov plus with one of my plus guys in there, just because I definitely think he has a chance. With a few of these other fighters that are going off early in the card too. Um, so yeah, the official pick is Almeida, just because I think he'll be able to get the takedowns and just control the time enough to win the fight, and Volkov will just maybe struggle to get up. Uh, But yeah, I want Volkov to win. I really am rooting for him. I'm pulling for him. I'll probably throw a little shekels on him at that price tag. I always like that plus 180 in the UFC is just like begging for you to bet it. I've just seen so many times where it's like this low confidence 200s where the action's on like plus 180 and those guys just hit like Dustin Poirier, some other stuff like that. But like just way more live to hit than some of the plus 120s even. It's kind of crazy how that shit happens, but yeah. I think it just comes down to a confidence factor. Like more people are confident throwing their money in Almeida versus like somebody like Delgado early in the card, just because of like how much Almeida's like made them over time versus Delgado hasn't made them that money over time. So I think certain these guys, and like that's where the ranges get fluctuated like between those 80 points. But yeah, I think at Volkov for that it's super juicy and I love it. But the official pick is Almeida. Next up, bantamweight bout: Umar Nurmagomedov, 18-1, coming off the loss to Marab, against Mario Batista, 16-2, coming off the wins against Patchy Mix and legend Jose Aldo, and they give him freaking Umar. Good. I mean, I hope the same thing. I hope Batista wins. I won't bet on him either. I think Umar is. I mean, going to be champ one day. I just think he'll probably avenge Marab. I think Marab will get a bad scorecard one day and he'll lose the belt. And I think this is a pathway for Umar to get a win. I think he'll probably just win, take down, kick him, and just unanimous decision. Umar money line is kind of already ballooned up. Started like -3 something, and now it's like -500. I did Umar, Tom, and Alaskarov for one unit. I thought was just those three together this early in the week. Just get him before, Umar's -750, Tom's -500, and Alascarov's minus, like 350. So, yeah, I think there's some spots where, yeah, and honestly, I might even just sprinkle Batista in like a round robin with that juicy ass price tag, just because if he does come through and cook everything, he'll with some other, guys. Like I said, this is another one that like it's like holy crap. If there's a few upsets on this, it's going to be crazy, but I think this card is the favorites win majority of the time. There's going to be a few upsets. I like Volkov, Rebecki, and Yonderoba next for some big upsets. I don't think we get a big upset, and I think a lot of favorites come home. A couple pick'ems make it like really juicy, where it can go either way. We have Camilo, Harpquist, even the Rebecki fight's kind of a pick'em. Delgado, so 4 relative pick'ems, a bunch of favorites, and some spots that I think really stick out. And this is one that I can definitely see just Umar by decision, just being a certified domination. 30-26, Umar all day. Don't even think twice. Next up, vacant women's strawweight bout, filling in for Wei Li going up against Shevchenko. We got Virna Yonderoba versus Mackenzie Hayadern, strawweight title bout. Yonderoba 22-3 coming off a win on an absolute hot streak. Mackenzie Hayadern 15-5 coming off a win against Amanda Hebos. Losses to Lemos and Andrade with a win against Luby before that. And, I mean, it's Yonderoba season. I can't even -166 for Dern. I don't know how I could ever realistically bet on that. Yeah, sure. Do I want Dern to win? Yes. Do I actually think she's going to win? No. I probably just think she just gets Yonderoba decision, 5 rounds, just wrestle, do even in the striking. There's a lot of spice I'm gonna like on this card here. I gotta make sure to get some. There's a lot of stuff I gotta write down early in the week here because as I'm going through this, I think there are some spots that are just like if it doesn't happen. I mean, I could definitely see Yonderoba getting the decision. I could definitely see like Umar getting the decision. But like you know what I mean, like or getting submissions and finishes. But at that rate, like I also really think that there's a chance that certain outcomes are almost inevitable. I think there will be some finishes. It just won't be in certain fights, and especially when you get towards the top end, it just tends to be first and foremost a finish. A decision fest. When they get the competition gets higher, it really gets tough out there, and I think it's one of those spots where it depends on if Dern takes a lot of damage. If she gets in a bad spot, I definitely see Verna getting a sub as well, just because that's what she's most live for. Like just between grappling, like between 3-4, the gas tank empty. I just think she can find a guillotine, an armbar, a Kimura or something. So I do like Yonderoba getting that moment, the finishing moment, because like I feel like Dern has been finished. It might not have been for a while, but I mean, I'll never get that Andrade left hook out of my face. So, even if she clips her and then jumps on for an arm triangle, I see Yonderoba lifting the belt after Mackenzie Dern. So, yeah, Verna Yonderoba just hasn't been blemished in a while. And, I just think she's on a huge streak. And I think she's determined. So, I'll say Mackenzie isn't. It's Yonderoba season. Just get on board before you get lost. And last up, the heavyweight title bout: Tommy Aspinall, 15-3 versus Ciryl Gane, 13-2, coming off that fake win against Volkov. Aspinall unified his belt against Blades. Never fought John Jones, so here we are. Ciryl Gane having the chance to do the funniest thing of all time: beat Tom Aspinall, set up a rematch against John Jones. It's got to be Tom Aspinall all day. I think Tom Aspinall wins within 2 rounds. I think he probably knocks him out, takes him down, beats him up. I'd see Ciryl Gane playing freaking video games when he was training for John Jones, unless something could massively change, which I don't think it has, because I really think. I mean, he beat Sergey Spivak. That's not freaking Pavlovich, though. You know what I mean? Like, come on, Tom Aspinall. I mean, it's not even. I don't even want to talk about it. I mean, I talk shit about Tommy talking a lot of talk, but he's a great champ. I want to see him just wipe out everybody again. Go collect some paychecks, collect some finishes, collect some highlights, and then you can talk for the rest of your life. You can talk it now if you want. It just doesn't sell as well as other people sell it, Tommy. So just keep walking through these guys. You're the champ, bro. You're amazing. You're seriously just great for the sport. We just want to see you fight very actively. Stay smart, you know. But, pummel Ciryl Gane, pummel Volkov again. Go freaking fight Pereira or something. I don't care. But, I just think Tom Aspinall is inevitable holding, again, if Ciryl Gane wins, I think if there's, a few massive upsets on this card, it'd be insane. Like, Batista winning would be insane. Gane winning would be insane. Park winning would be insane. Barnett winning would be insane. Even Raposo, So I think there's a few insane favorites that just have no chance to lose. And I bet on them already: Aspinall, Alaskarov, and Umar. If any of those 3 lose, I think the access of the MMA world is off kilter for a while. So that being said, I think they're the stability access on there. We'll do a little recap here, but I like Tommy. By finish, under 2 and under 3, and it's a 5-round fight. I don't know, I really just think he gets a finish, unless he gets hurt in there. I don't think he loses. So, that's the only thing that I'll say is maybe Tom Aspinall gets hurt, and that's the way he loses, because that's the only thing I've ever seen. I'm not wishing that on him. I'm hoping the best. I think he starches him in the second round. There's a lot of second-round finishes here. Last week was a lot of third-round finishes. That was a really great fight card. A lot of third-round finishes, a lot of great wars. This one, I think a lot of second-round finishes. I think a lot of, after the break, the adjustment, the levels will change, and we'll see just pure domination. If they can't get the finish, he'll just go and dominate into the third round, too. All right, quick recap here. So we got Walter Walker. What was the other one on? We got Walter and Harpquist on the other 2. So 2, it looks like an L I'm putting up next to my L. So we got Harpquist and Walker. Amarine, Maxim, El Dawab, Delgado, Camilo, Rebecki, Aliskarov, Mirzakhanov, Almeida, Nurmagomedov, Yandaroba, and Tommy Aspinall. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Your picks, winners in the comment section. 100% picks is 100% right, dollars I'll send to you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate all the support and continuing to enjoy these videos. Thank you guys so much. Peace and love.